So in my last video I explained how the S23 might not come in this year's BBD sale or why you shouldn't go with that anymore, as we will have the Samsung S24 and the S24 FE around the same price if it comes in sale, which would be around 30 to 32,000 rupees for the S20 FE's 128GB variant, or around 35,000 rupees or 37,000 rupees for this 256GB variant, and around 38,000 rupees or 40,000 rupees for the 128GB variant of the Samsung S24. So today let's find 4 reasons to get the S24 over the S24 FE and 4 reasons to consider the S24 FE over the S24. As I couldn't fit the 5th point, that would have been great, but and which one I would personally pick. So let's get started. The first reason why the S24 might be a better deal for you has to be its compactness, or like a good alternative to the Samsung S23 or the iPhone 15 or so, if you like compact devices. It's only 6.2 inches and also it's lightweight at just around 168 grams with a thickness of about 7.6 millimeters as compared to 6.7 inch size on the S24 FE with around 213 grams in weight at around 8 millimeters in thickness. So if premiumness and comfort are your thing and you want a sleeker device, then the S24 is a clear winner here. Also, let's talk about the display. The Samsung S24, as mentioned, has a 6.2 inch Full HD Plus display, which is a 120Hz LTPO Dynamic AMOLED 2X display, which obviously has variable refresh rates, protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 2. And even though the S24 FE has a Full HD Plus display, but it is a way bigger display, so you won't get the same pixel sharpness as like in the S24. And also the display bezels are way more chunkier on the S24 FE as compared to the S24. And the S24's display peaks at around 2600 nits in brightness as compared to 1900 nits on the S24 FE. Now practically speaking, there isn't a big difference between the cameras of these two devices. Like the S24 has a 50MP main, 12MP ultra wide and a 10MP 3x telephoto with a 12MP front camera. Whereas the S24 FE also has a 50MP main, 12MP ultra wide but with a lower 8MP 3x telephoto lens and a 10MP front camera. Now while taking photos, you basically won't find that big of a difference between these two. Like maybe the color tone will be different or the 3x telephoto lens might deliver more details, especially in the low light as compared to the S24 FE on the S24. But the differences wouldn't be that big. And the same scenario is in videos, but only if you don't care about recording at 4K 60fps across all of the cameras, which comes in handy if you want to switch between different camera modes or lenses, let's say while vlogging. The S24 wins here as it can record up to 4K 60fps across all of its cameras, while the S24 FE can only do that with the main and the rear. As mentioned, the display looks more modern due to that thin bezels with a good display protection, that's Gorilla Glass Victus 2. Now that same glass is being used for the rear glass also, which is a matte finish one as compared to the glossy and more slippery back of the S24 FE. Along with that, both of them has an aluminum frame, but the S24 FE uses an armor aluminum frame, which will give you a better durability. Overall, the S24 feels and looks more premium while being more durable. So these were some points to choose the S24 over the S24 FE. Now the reasons to consider the S24 FE over the S24. Now not everyone likes a compact phone. Some people or a lot of people actually enjoys a bigger display, and the S24 FE has it. It has a 6.7 inch Full HD Plus 120Hz Dynamic AMOLED 2X display, not an LTPO one, but it works, protected by the Gorilla Glass Victus Plus. Now yes, it obviously won't be as sharp as the S24's Full HD Plus panel, but it is more than sufficient enough to enjoy content, as after all it's a Samsung display, so it won't bother you in your day-to-day tasks unless you are pixel peeping in your display. While the display bezels might bother you, but as said, the display quality will drag your focus away from it every time you use it, or unless you're comparing it with any other devices. And also, while the Gorilla Glass Victus Plus might seem a step back from the Victus 2, but it still is a really great glass protection, so you won't need to worry about that much. And also the aluminum frame, even though it's not an armor protected one, is a lot durable as compared to any other plastic frames. Now this might sound weird and wrong, but the S24 FE actually performs better than the S24, be it in day-to-day tasks or even in gaming. Well, not every time, but a lot of times. Now I'm not saying that the S24 FE will give you better FPS stability than the S24. After all, both of them are using the Exynos 2400, which is Exynos 2400E for the S24 FE, which is a slight toned down version of the S24's Exynos 2400. But in reality, it's just basically the opposite. The S24 FE will run relatively cooler than the S24, which I think is due to the fact that it uses a bigger vapor cooling chamber, and also the bigger space gives it an upper hand to remove that heat faster than the tight space of the S24. Both runs fast in day-to-day tasks, but the heating will be more manageable on the S24 FE. But truth be told, both heats up a little quicker as compared to any other phone in the market around their respective prices, but it won't become unusable or something. So yeah, it will heat, it will feel the heat, but it won't really bother you for your day-to-day tasks. But the S24 FE will still manage the heat better. And due to that better heat management thing, and also the fact that the S24 FE has a bigger battery as compared to the S24 at 4700 mAh as compared to only 4000 mAh on the S24, the battery life is easily better on the S24 FE. Like let's say you can get around 5 to 5.5 hours of screen on time in moderate usage, or around 6 hours if used a bit lightly on the S24. But with with the same kind of usage, you can expect to get around 7 hours of screen on time on the S24 FE, or even around 7.5 to 8 hours if used a bit lightly. Now neither of these is a battery champion, of course. Like nowadays you can easily get a 6000 mAh battery around this 40,000 rupees price range, which can easily give you 8 to 9 hours of screen on time on moderate usage and even more on light usage. But comparing these two, the S24 FE easily takes the win in terms of battery life. But the most appealing thing to me for the S24 FE, other than the fact of the software and the cameras, is the storage for around the same price. Like as mentioned, the S24's 128GB will be available at around 38,000 rupees or around 40,000 rupees in this year's Flipkart BBD sale, and the S24 FE might be available at around 30 to 32,000 rupees for its 128GB variant, but around 35 to 37,000 rupees for the 256GB variant, which is also an UFS 4.01 compared to the UFS 3.1 storage for the 128GB variant of the S24. So for around the same or a little lesser price, you will get double the storage with almost double the speed, which will definitely help you get more photos and videos, and also for the overall smoothness of the phone for long-term use case scenarios. So it's pretty clear, if you want a more premium looking and feeling phone with better durability, display and cameras, especially in the video recording part, and want all of these in a compact form factor, then the S24 might be a good pick for you. But I would personally pick the S24 FE as it still looks and feels premium apart from having those thick bezels, but with really good durability. Yes, maybe not the same as the S24, but close enough, with better thermal controls and battery life, and double the storage amount and speed for even a bit lesser price than the S24, while not missing much on the cameras and software or the performance. But if you don't care much about the software or cameras or even the premium build quality, then there will be a lot of phones available around this price, like the OnePlus 13R or the upcoming phones like iQOO Neo 10 or the GT7 or even the GT70 and so on, which would have a Snapdragon processor or a Dimensity one, and thus will provide you better gaming performance and obviously far better battery life with faster wired charging, and you will get everything inside the box, unlike the Samsung ones where you have to buy the charger separately. The software or cameras don't suck on them, they just lack stability or consistency in those areas. That's it. So let me know about your thoughts too, and you can watch these videos here too. And till the next one, this was Ridip. See you guys.